everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rhonda and I'm also known as the Sparkly One. Today I just wanted to show you this project that I've been working on, and these are a basket full of little animals that are knitted, and they are just so cute. Look at these. And that's kind of why I haven't been posting too many videos, because I've been so busy making these. I mean, like, each and every one takes so many hours and so much time, but it's really worth it, and I'm just so proud of them. Look how cute they are. I decided I wanted to make a little sunburst blanket, and I found the perfect pattern on Mary Maxim. It's a free pattern. It's called All You Need Is Love Blanket. So the size H crochet hook that you use in the pattern, I am going to substitute that with this right here. And this is a size C crochet hook, and this is a Furls crochet hook. And you can use any hook that you have. And I'm going to be using the Yarn Bee yarn by Hobby Lobby. And this is the Rainbow Rhapsody in Crimson Poppies. This yarn is a size 1, so it's really thin. You can double it up if you want, but I decided to just make it with one strand. Took me quite a while, as you can imagine, because this is kind of a tedious thing to make. What I decided to do was show you the video with this blanket being made, but I do have another blanket that I'll show you real quick. So here's the bigger version. Isn't it beautiful? And this one is about 40 inches in diameter, so it's pretty large, but you can make this as big or as small as you want. Now this yarn is a size 3 yarn, and this is the Hobby Lobby Sugarwheel cotton yarn. And I did make the colorful part of it, the yellow and the pinks and the white part of it, from one skein of Zest Wishes, and that is the color of it. Then I used 2 skeins of this pink yarn, the solid yarn, and that is in Pink Canyon. So this uses 3 skeins of the Hobby Lobby yarn. I think it's so beautiful and just really fun and easy to make. I think you're really gonna like it. Actually, at the end of the video, I will show you how to do this little picot edge. It's super easy. You can use it on any blanket. It just adds a nice little finished look to it. Okay, so on the label, it says that it uses a size D crochet hook. So you can use that if you want. Your blanket will be a little bigger, but I'm using, like I said, the size C. And then also I wanted to just let you know that I'm going to take this off, and I am going to unwind it from the outside. Generally, I'll do it from the inside, but I really want the darker color on the inside and then work out to a light yellow. So I think that'll be really pretty. And I don't even know if I'll be using all of this because it's such a small blanket. And this yarn is so thin. So that is the reason why I need to use the smaller one especially. I am going to start it with a magic ring, but in the pattern it says to chain 3, and you can do it that way if you want. It'll have the same outcome, but I like doing it this way. So with your, I should probably show you this. So you're going to have the tail in your hand. You're going to wind it around your fingers. You're going to cross it over. Then you're going to take your hook and you're going to go under this first one and grab this and pull it, whoops, and pull it through and kind of twist it a little bit. Now you can drop this if you want so you can kind of see what it is. And then just take the long end that goes to the yarn and then tighten it up a little bit, and you're going to chain 3. So 1, hold on to it, 2, 3. Okay, and you can tighten this circle a little bit. And then you're going to, this chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. So you're going to do 11 more double crochets. So you want a total of 12 in that magic circle. So you're just going to go right in there. You're going to do 11 double crochets. Then what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So it is right here, a little hard to see because it's so small. Okay, we don't want to split the threads, so make sure that you go underneath. Okay, let me get this situated. And you're going to slip stitch. And then you can pull the center tight like that. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again that counts as your first double crochet. And in the same space you're going to yarn over and do one more double crochet in there. So now you have 2. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go around into each stitch. You're going to do 2 double crochets. So I am going to go underneath both strands at the top with a double crochet. 1, 2. So now I have 4. So you want to go around until you have 24 total. So 2 in each of those stitches. And I will see you when I get to the next round. Okay, so now we're on round 3, and all you're going to do is slip stitch to the top of this little chain 3 right here. Go right under there, pull it through, and then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to skip this next double crochet right here, so that's your space. Then you're going to yarn over, and in the next one you're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and in the same space a double crochet. Then what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, you're going to skip the next double crochet, and in the next one you're going to repeat that same pattern of the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, all in that same stitch. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. So once you get back to the beginning, you should have 11 of these spaces, and then I'll show you how to join to get your 12th one at the next row. Okay, so I have completed row 3 until this point. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now for this last one, to make a 12th one, you're going to skip the double crochet, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to double crochet into the base of where this chain 3 goes. It's right here. Then you'll chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to join at the top of the chain 3. So right here, you have to count 3 chains. That one's really small. 1, 2, 3. Just go right into the top of that and do a slip stitch to join. Whoops. Okay, I'll do that over. Right here to the top of the chain 3, and you slip stitch to join. And that's what this should look like. Okay, so that's round 3. Let's move on to round 4. Okay, so if you're like me and you're using a yarn that is, you know, just a big ball of yarn that color changes, you don't have to do this. Or if you want it solid color, you don't have to do it. But if you want to change rows, if you have a solid color and then you want to change it to another color, it does say to break one strand of the white, which is the one they were using, and join the next color, which is yellow. Now, break means cut, by the way. It says break, but you can just cut it. It says to join your yarn, but we're just going to slip stitch into the next open space right here. Just go ahead and do a slip stitch right into there. Okay, for this, what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, and we're going to be making a shell stitch. And that just means that it's going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in this open space. These are all chain 2 spaces, so that's what we're going to be working in. So you yarn over, and you're going to do the 2 double crochets, and remember the chain 3 counts as your double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in that same space. That's a chain 2 space that we're working in. And then what you're going to do after this is you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So you're going to do right here, here's the next, so this space is not a chain 2 space, as you can see. this one is. So that's where you're going to go. And you're going to yarn over 2 double crochets. Sorry about my stomach, it's growling. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And then just repeat that all the way around until you get back to that beginning, and then we'll move on to round 5. As you can see, I have 12 shells all the way around. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to show you this other one in hot pink. It is so pretty, and this is the yarn that I used. And I just wanted to show you real quick that this is such a wonderful repetitive pattern that is so easy to make while you're watching TV, and you're not having to concentrate too much, but you do need to count your rows. So I just also wanted to share real quick with you on the rows, the row count, okay, before you get started. Let me just lay this down for a second. So once you get past this center area right here where it has these V stitches, this gets very easy, okay? So this seems a little more complicated in the middle at the beginning. The first 3 rounds are the more tedious part of this whole thing. And I just wanted to show you the count as you go up. So once you start these sections right here where it's getting larger, you're increasing, you're gonna see a pattern take place. So this will have 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. And then when you're doing this first row, you have 2 in each of these stitches right here. Into these V stitches, you'll have 2 in the same stitch. So this is where it's increasing, and you're gonna have a chain 2 right between it. So you're gonna have 2 in here, chain 2, 2 in here. And then you're not gonna chain in between, and then you're gonna have 2, chain 2, 2 in each of these spaces. Then once you get up here where you're starting to do them in groups, the groups are very repetitive. So you have 2 here, then you're going to have 3 here and 4 here. Then you're going to have 4 here, 5, 6. Then you're going to have 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12. So the reason that it does that and you have 4 here and 4 here is because in this V stitch on this round, you will have 2 in this space and a chain 2 in between, and then 2 here. And then on this next row, then you're going to have 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. So this is a 2 in this one, and this is a 1 in this one. So as you can see, the pattern increases. It's so beautiful, and I really think you're going to enjoy making this. So I'm going to show you the rest of the tutorial with the Sunburst. For round 5, it says to slip stitch into the next stitch, which would be the double crochet next to it. Okay, so I slip stitched into there. I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space. In the pattern, it doesn't say to do that, but I think it's going to look better if you do. That's just my opinion, but you can follow the pattern if you want. So I am just going to slip stitch in there. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to make a shell inside of that chain 2 opening. So that chain 3 counts as my first double crochet. And that's my second one. Then I'm going to chain 2. And then 2 double crochets back into the space. And this is a really tiny blanket, so I'm just letting you know that, you hopefully are using a yarn that you're having a good time working with, because this is a little difficult for me, but I really want it to be a miniature blanket, so that's why it's so small. But if you're using a 4 worsted weight yarn, that's probably ideal. This is more like a crochet thread. It's so small, and hopefully you can see it well. Okay, so let me know if you're enjoying this. Leave me a comment, and I am happy to help you if you have any questions. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to do a double crochet in the first double crochet. And then you're going to skip 2 double crochets. So you see the 4 right there. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to double crochet into this one right here. Just like that. You want to make sure that you have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then you're going to skip those 2 inside ones, and then you're going to repeat the shell. So I think that's self-explanatory. So let's go all the way around. So once I get around to the beginning to join number 6, we'll count all of these so you can see exactly how many there are. Okay, so I just want to show you this because you might lose track of these little spaces right here, but after you do your shell stitch in here, this first one sometimes gets covered up by this area right here, and then you have a tendency to go into this next stitch right here, but you want to go into the first stitch. And so just move your stitches over if you need to, because you have to skip the 2 in the middle, and then you have to go into this other double crochet at the top of that area. And then again, you're going to be going into this chain 2 space with your shell with 2, and just let me see if it works out that way where you cannot see it, because it is a little difficult. Okay, so we're doing 2 to finish the shell, and see, this is exactly the problem. So you're going to think that you have to go here, but you don't. You have to move this over, and you have to go into this one right there. That is the first one. So I just thought I would share that with you, because if you don't, it won't work out right, and then you'll be frustrated, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch for round 5, and I just did the shell right here. You're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the double crochet right next to it, and then you're going to join at the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch and pull that through. Okay, so here we go. So here is what it looks like. Okay, and the pattern, it doesn't show how many shells you need, but I'm going to count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so you have 12 points going around. So for round 6, so shortly it's going to start to be more repetitive. So this is the most difficult part of the pattern, is to make the center. So you might have to pull apart your threads a little bit, but this is the one that goes over the center. So you're going to slip stitch right into that one, because you have 3 double crochets. So now we're in the center one right here. And then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to double crochet into the next one. Okay, so this is the increases. So you're going to be seeing, like, every time you make increases as it gets bigger. Like in this one, you had 2 here, you had 3 here. We're going to end up with 4 right there. Then after this, you're going to do a shell into the middle, just like you have done on all the other ones. So that's a 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then here you're going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So you have this first one and this middle one right here. Okay, and then you're going to skip 2, and then you're going to, so it's these 2 again where this little V, upside down V starts right there. Then you're going to double crochet into the next 2, so that's the middle one, and then the next one, and then you're just going to do your shell all the way around again. So this is how we're increasing. So go ahead and go right to the beginning of that next round, and we'll start round 7. So at the end of round 6, that's what it should look like. I'm going to put it down. And of course, you're always going to have 12 points going around, and we're just going to be making those bigger each time. So as you can see here, every time we've had this row right here, you increase by 1 stitch every row. So for round 7, we're going to slip stitch again to the top of this chain 3. Then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, which is right here. And then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So you have 1, 2. And then you're going to do a small shell. So that small shell is only 1 double crochet. And then chain 2, 1 double crochet. And then you're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So you have 1, 2, 3, you have 4 stitches in between. Okay, then you're going to skip these 2 like you always do, and then you're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to do your small shell, and then you're going to work all the way around. Now what that helps do by only having the 1 is to keep it more flat, because if you kept adding too many, it would get too wavy. So this is really nice. It's going to be great. Go all the way around, and then we'll start on round 8. Okay, this is the end of round 7. Slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, and then this is going to be round 8. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. So right here next to it, you do another slip stitch after you join. You chain 3. You're going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then you're going to do a shell into this stitch. You're not doing the small one, you're doing the normal shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets again into that space, 1, 2, 1 double crochet in the next 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. You're going to skip 2 and go into the next 3 and do your repeat with the shell all the way around. It's not a small shell, but it's the normal size shell. So I will see you at the I'll see you at the end of round 8, and then we'll start for round 9. Okay, so I am going to be starting round 9. And I just wanted to cut my yarn because I don't want to have just all red. So I have to make sure that it's going to be a nice blended pattern with all these different colors in it. So I'm going to unwind this, make a new ball, and then I'm going to start with one of these colors right in here. So we're moving on to round 9, and I cut my yarn like I said, and I am down to this spool, and this I think will be great because I like all of those lighter, brighter colors. And all you're going to do, and I'm sure you've already done this if you're following the pattern on how to join, but when I slip stitch at the top, I'm going to add my new color and bring it through on the last, on the last stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, which is right here. When you change colors, it makes it a little trickier. And then you're going to take your yarn and you're going to slip stitch right there. So you have 2 slip stitches in a row. Then you chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you double crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So you have 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to shell into this next point right here, into that chain 2. So you're gonna, the shell is the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And of course, this is an increase round. Then you're going to double crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can hear that music, that's my husband in the music room playing his guitar. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 on each side. And then you're going to skip the 2 and then go up the side with 4 and then continue around until you get to round 10. So I'll see you when we get there. Hope you're enjoying this. So this is round 9. I'm slip stitching to start round 10, and then it says to repeat round 7 but do 5 in between. So that means that you're going to slip stitch into this next stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 5 double crochets. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're making a small shell on this round. So you're just doing 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and then repeat down the side, 5, skip 2, 5, and then the small shell in each point. And then when I'm finished with that row, I'll come back and we'll be on round 11. Okay, so for round 11, you did the slip stitch at the end of round 10, and you're going to do as you did on round 8, but you're going to add 5 on each side. So, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next one. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you just double crochet into the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're just going to do your shell, and then you're going to do 5, skip 2, and repeat all the way around. So that is row 11. And for row 12, you're going to do as you did round 9, but you're going to do 6 in between each one. So as you can see, it's just going to keep growing and growing by 1. So all you're going to do is repeat rows 7, 8, and 9. This is row 10, that's 11. And so when row 7 has the small shell, and then row 8 and 9 have the shell, the regular shell. So you have the 1, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and these have the 2 double crochets, chain 2. So Just go ahead and repeat rows 7, 8, and 9, and then until you get it as large as you want. So when I'm finished with the size that I want, I'll come back and I'll show it to you. So happy crocheting. Okay, so this is the little Picot border like this. Okay, so at the end of your row, all you're going to do is slip stitch into the next stitch. So again, you're going to be starting on this second stitch after this little V right here. You're going to chain 3. Then you're going to slip stitch into the same stitch. So it's right here, not this one, but the one that's underneath this chain, like directly underneath it. You're just going to go in there with a slip stitch, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next 2. 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to go back into the same stitch. Again, not the next one, but the one right, it almost feels like you're going backwards, but it's right underneath it. And then you'll just slip stitch. And then all you do is keep doing that pattern, slip stitch into the next 2, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you work your way up to the corner. So I'll show you when I get up to this point. I'm at the end, so I only have 1 stitch here left, and I have to do 2 slip stitches. 1, and I'm going to slip stitch right into that chain 2 space. I'm going to chain 3. My yarn looks a little odd. Okay, hopefully it won't make a difference, but we'll see. I might have to cut that out. I'm going to slip stitch right under there. And then I am going to just go into this space right here with a slip stitch. So that's the next one, not into the chain 2. And then into the second one right there. I'm going to chain 3. So you can do whatever you want, however you want the point to look. I mean, you could put 2 in there if you want. I'm not going to, but you could. And I'm going to do 2 more in here. You just want to make sure that it's equal on both sides. So if you went into, so here is the chain 2 space. But if you went into this, so you have 2 double crochets in this space right here and 2 there. If you went into the first double crochet as you're going into this chain 2 space, then make sure you do the same one on the other side, okay? You need this to match. So whatever you do here, you're going to mirror over here. So just continue around until you have exactly the look that you want, and that's all there is to it. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like my video and share it if you know another crocheter who would love to make this. Anyway, have a blessed day. Take care. Bye.